Hello, I'm Eric, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to start a foam project with JavaScript code, so without Java code generation. And all we're going to need to do that is these 5 steps here. Starting with including foam. I have here an empty project, and for the sake of following existing convention, I'm going to use npm to set up my project. At the time I'm recording this, right now it's unclear which npm package is best for including foam, so I'm going to include it directly from the Git repository like that. Except npm didn't like that I made an empty package.json file. With the magic of television, that's done installing already. I'm also going to install this package called uglified.js, and at the time I'm recording this, that's a dependency for the code minifier. If we look at our package.json, it's updated now, and I'm going to add a script that we can use for building it. So this could also just be a shell script, but I'm writing it here so we can use that npm run convention. So node modules foam3 tools gen.js. That's a script that we'll need to invoke to bundle all of our foam files into one JavaScript file. And with that, we're actually ready for our second step. So we included foam, and now we need to create POM files. To do that, we create one file in the root of the project called pom.js. Now this is an actual executable JavaScript that the foam build is going to run. And now we can write a list of projects that our project depends on. And these are just going to be POM files. So the first one that we will want to include is actually foam itself. So foam will not do this for you. So you could, hypothetically, you could use foam's JavaScript builder for something else. And I like to include my files in a separate POM file. I believe you could also do something like that. So now I need to create this POM file. So I'm going to create that sic directory pom.js, and this file will have a very similar structure to the other one, except instead of projects, we're going to call this files, and I'm going to call this untitled-source. So now we've included foam, created POM files, and now we can move on to creating our first controller. I'm going to create that file right here as controller.js, and now we can begin writing a controller. So we could also extend foam u2 element here. That would work. If you define actions on a controller, those will be bound to the instance itself instead of on, as opposed to a view where it's bound to data. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The most important thing is we need a method called render. And that's just going to say, we'll just make a heading. So that's a controller that's going to render an h1 element containing the string hello foam, and that's written in this DSL for us, which is a lot more flexible than if we just wrote it with HTML. Which is perhaps slightly ironic, because our next step is writing an index.html file. I'm just going to use this template that's built into my editor. Example foam page. And we're going to use a special tag called foam. Now this tag, we can give it an ID just like any other tag, but foam will give this attribute special treatment. This will become a global available to us, which is really convenient for debugging. And the other attribute we specify is called class. And that is going to be com.example.controller following our package and name. This needs to be a capital C actually. I didn't catch that in our controller.js file. We're missing one thing actually. We need to include our controller in the pom.js file. So I'm going to do that here. And I believe it's called name, and we don't specify an extension. Now I need to actually include foam on our page. So we'll add a script tag and the source. We're not going to invoke the foam build right away. First I'm just going to show how to load foam using the foam.js file. So include the foam.js file and add another attribute called project. This is going to be a POM file, and right now, as of when I'm recording this video, that is relative to where foam.js is. That's a bit of a portability issue. I think there's a way to change it, but I wasn't able to find it. So if I do, I'll put that in the description. But for now, we can just go up 3 directories to get out of the foam source folder. And we type pom with no extension. Otherwise, it'll try to load pom.js.js. So let's give this page a load. So it took like maybe half a second or less, and now we have hello foam. Now if we take a look at the network tab, there's actually a lot that happened. We loaded our project pom file, foam's pom file, and then I believe this is going to be our pom file here. Yes, it is. So that was our project pom, and this is the pom inside of foam, which includes a number of files, which are all here. Now, whatever server you're using might have some overhead for HTTP requests, and serving that many JavaScript files could be a bit slow. So a solution to that is to bundle all of the source files into one JavaScript file. The way we do that is we run a script that outputs foambin.js. So in package.json, I already wrote that. That's this command here. So we could just type that in our terminal. Or I think it's npm run build, and it says it's missing that script. It does tend to help to use the right names for things, doesn't it? Now it's running the build script. It doesn't take very long, and we should have a new file here called foambin.js. Now we can take out the script tag and replace it with something like this. We can just load that foambin.js. And we'll see that this page reloads really fast, and we're only loading foambin.js now. I think I've reloaded it a few times, but yeah, that's just there once. One clear disadvantage of bundling is we'll see all I expanded it so it doesn't look minified, but we'll see all of these classes in the same file in the browser. We don't create a we don't create a source map for the generated file as of yet, because it turns out that's a little bit complicated. But I find it's not too much of an issue. If we want to find something in here, we can just search the package and name. And that's it. Now you've built your own foam project. It may not be a very complex project, but you've built it outside of any proprietary build script that you may or may not be aware of the existence of, using what's available in the foam repository. I don't remember what npm steps was at the end here. I think it was installing that dependency that I did at the beginning. And once again, you're seeing my navigation screen here that marks the end of the video. So thank you for watching, and I hope you build some really cool things using the foam framework.